Second episode of Out of Bounds. I'm John Jones, and here today we have Mr. Quad Brown, the starting quarterback for Alabama A&M.
So, John, how you doing, bro? Thanks for having me on.
And good, no problem. So I know y'all just got out of spring, so how that's going?
Going pretty well, man. So we got a coaching change in December. Coach Sam Shea came in from Miles College. So I think he's been doing a great job of kind of transforming the program, just kind of changing the culture, tightening up the loose ends that we kind of had from the last coaching staff and just getting everybody all on one accord. We just started spring ball. Actually, today we had our fourth practice, our second practice in pads, and we're kind of creating an identity for ourselves as an offense, as a defense, and most importantly as a team, man. But got some guys that played some significant minutes for us last year coming back, so that's always a great thing, having guys that have played at that university coming back. And we had some guys in the portal that came in that are going to be instant impact guys. Guys like Trey Abner, tight end, came from Miles College. A defensive back, came from Campbell. We call him Yak. He's gonna help us out. We talking nicknames, so sometimes it's hard for me to remember their names.
No, I understand.
But my boy Peasy, he played receiver. He came from Miles College. He'll be another instant impact guy. Big O, he plays offensive line, transferred in from Tennessee State. I feel like he'll be instant impact. So, getting guys into the program that can come help us out. And again, we got Coach Shade. He's got everybody all on one accord, and I feel like we're really building something special. It's hard to say after four practices of spring ball, but I think we'll be really good this coming season.
Okay, that's good. And I see I got a SEC game, first game of the season.
Yeah, bro, Arkansas. Yeah, that's the first one.
How you like going in that stadium, SEC? You know how to run see SEC and everybody eyes now.
Yeah, I mean they see them as world beaters, and I mean kudos to Arkansas. They got a great program. Taylor Green, I know their quarterback. Played against him whenever I was at UT Martin when he was at Boise State. So I mean they're gonna make some plays, but I mean at the end of the day we're a Division I school. We got Division I athletes. We got guys on scholarship. We got guys that get paid to do what they do. They get paid a little bit more than we do, but at the end of the day we got scholarship guys just like they do. And I mean, if you think about it, everybody on this level, well, a lot of people on this level had dreams and aspirations of playing big-time ball, myself included. So, I mean, I feel just at home down there in Arkansas. So, I mean, I'm excited about the opportunity. It's a quote-unquote money game, but, I mean, since it's a money game, let's go down there and get paid. I'm not going to give a score prediction, not going to say, yeah, we're going to go in there and beat those guys. We're going to go in there, we're going to play one play at a time. All the practice and all the hard work that we put in the offseason, we're gonna put it on the line and just give ourselves the best opportunity that we can to win the game. But was able to play at Auburn last year, and Auburn was my dream school growing up. So man,
what was that?
It was surreal, bro. It was surreal. I mean, it's as advertised, bro. Auburn, I truly believe, is one of the top 5 college football environments in the country. I mean, to me, you got Auburn, you got Jordan-Hare, you got the Big House, Michigan. Where else, man? You got Happy Valley, Penn State. But, man, Auburn is up there, and they were treating us like we were Alabama. Like, I'm talking about that thing was sold out, bro. It was full from start to midway through the fourth quarter, and it was loud. It was electric. Man. It was a crazy experience. I mean, we did some good things, that we were able to build upon. Of course, we didn't play as well as we should have, but I mean, that's something that I'm going to be able to tell my kids. I'm like, listen, bro, like I walked out there at the coin toss in the middle of the field at Jordan-Hare Stadium, played against Auburn, but.
So I definitely feel like that's the experience that a lot of players like don't get to go through. You get what I'm saying? Because everybody ain't playing in the SEC school or even playing against the SEC school. So to go in there and have a chance to be the SEC school, that's like, it got to be a surreal feeling.
It is, man. I mean, I've been playing college football for so long. I value experiences over a lot of things. Experiences are things and times that money can't buy.
Yeah.
So just the fact that I got pictures out there, man. I grew up wanting to go play at Auburn, and I played at Auburn. Even at UT Martin, played against Tennessee. When I was at Georgia State, we went down there and beat Tennessee. So this will be my fourth SEC game, and I'll go in as the guy, as the starter, man, and I'm really excited about the opportunity. So, like I said, man, we're just gonna go out there, play the best we can, put our best foot forward, and give ourselves an opportunity to win the game. Because at the end of the day, if they got athletes, they got ball players. We got athletes, we got ball players too.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you still got to line up. At the end of
You
the
got to
day.
line it up. You got
At
to
the
play
end of the
four
day.
quarters, 60 minutes. So,
But you being an Auburn fan growing up, you had to be a Cam Newton. You had to be a Cam Newton fan.
yeah, I mean, I was a Cam fan growing up. I mean, I kind of swayed away from Cam a little bit, man. That's another story for another day. But man, I grew up idolizing Cam. We dang, they got the same skin tone. I'm tall. You feel me? Kind of got similar personalities in a way on the positive end.
So many people don't know how it is. Many people know how it is playing football. A lot of people don't know how it is playing football at HBCU. Can you
Yeah.
take us through that experience? 'Cause I know HBCUs have the most tradition, the most love for the game, crowd will
Yep.
always be there. It's just like a family in the day. So can you go through that with us?
It is, man. It's like you said, man, a lot of tradition, a lot of class. A lot of people have pride in their HBCUs. Not saying that like at PBIs and PWIs, those people don't have pride in their schools, but I mean, at HBCU, if you're an alumni and your team is up, you got bragging rights. If I'm an Alabama A&M fan, I graduated from Alabama A&M. My baby went to Alabama A&M. My cousin went to Alabama A&M. This, that, and the third. You got a lot of ties with that school. Therefore, you got a lot of pride in it. So I think that's just one of the biggest things, just defending the legacy. Making the alumni proud is something that I take heed in. And the game day environment is crazy, bro. Like, we got games. I mean, last year we played against our first game, the Lewis Cruz Classic. We played against Lane College. I think it was like 17 or 18,000 at that game. Our stadium fits 25. So we had 17, 18,000 at that game. We played Bethune-Cookman at home. That's homecoming. That thing was sold out, 25,000. Probably 100,000 more outside of the stadium. They take homecoming serious.
HBCUs, they take homecoming serious.
Most def. So, I mean, I just think playing in those big time environments, playing a lot in front of a lot of people, even though we're a Division I FCS school and we don't have all the resources and our game days aren't as crazy as those big time FCS SEC schools or big time P4 schools. Our game day environments, whenever it's time to go, it's gonna be packed out. Like we play Alcorn first game of the season, and we're a prestigious HBCU. Alcorn's a prestigious HBCU. A lot of bragging rights
Yeah.
on that game, so it's probably gonna be sold out. It's gonna be packed. That's the first home game. Everybody excited. See the Bulldogs play down here in Normal, Alabama. So, I mean, that's one thing I look forward to: the game day environments. Seeing the fans, walking through the tailgate, going to go get plates, going to take pictures with fans after the game. That's something that I value because, like I said, I value experiences, man, and those experiences money can't buy.
With when you walk in that stadium and you see 17,000, 18,000 packed out seats, what's going through your head when you know everything is on you? Because you the quarterback. So you know everything starts with you.
Man, honestly, playing football, even when I'm at practice, and I see somebody that I don't know, I try to play as well as I can so that person can say, "Hey, number 10 for Alabama A&M, that quarterback down there, he like that." So that gives me an edge because I know out of these 17,000 people, it's a lot of people ain't seen me play before. And I want them to leave this stadium knowing that they got their money's worth, knowing that, like, dang, man, Alabama A&M, they cold. They offense, man, they offense like a well-oiled machine. That quarterback, man, he can spin it. He got some guys around him that can make a lot of plays. So I just want to leave a lasting impact. Even kids, like, it's kids that DM me saying, man, like, yeah, I came down to this game. I was at the Grambling game, and I know the impact that collegiate athletes had on me whenever I was a kid. Like, so I just want to be able to leave that impact for kids and just leave that impact on the game for people that haven't seen me yet. Out of them 17,000, it's going to be at least one person that ain't seen me play yet. And I want that person to leave and say, hey, whether they going home talking to their wife, talking to their son, talking to their mom, I want them to say, hey, number 10, Quad Brown, and the Alabama A&M Bulldogs, hey, they worth seeing. They like that. So that's kind of what motivates me.
And when we first started the podcast, you mentioned your old lineman. Like, you get everybody props. And it seemed like you held all your guys accountable and you put everybody on the same level. Nobody's bigger than one another. So can you go through, like, how your chemistry is with all those guys? Like, what's the chemistry like?
Well, I mean, it's important for a quarterback, I feel like to be selfless and have relationships with everybody because I mean, yeah, I might be the captain of the ship, but at the end of the day, if my left tackle, Bear, that's his nickname, if Taquez Richardson don't make this block on this third down, I don't get the ball off. If my
Right.
left guard done double team and get to the next level, that's Bobby. If Bobby don't double team and get to the next level on inside zone, it's gonna get stuffed, and now it's 2nd and 11. So now that makes my job harder as the quarterback because it's a quote unquote passing now. Elias Cloyd, call him Judge. If Judge don't give me the ball, don't give me a good snap, then I can't, start the offense or I can't go through my reads, through my progressions. My right guard, Tyrell, if he don't jump set on quick game and get that defensive tackle's hands down, I'm gonna get a bat down, and that's an incompletion for me. My right tackle, whether that be Big O or Bruce Crenshaw, if they don't kick step and make that defensive end run up the field and they get bull rushing to my lap, I don't get a completion. Duke, if he don't create separation on the outside and get open, I don't get completions and make. I'm not be able to get explosive plays. Dono, that's the slot, and I'm just talking about the starting guys. I mean, I could talk about the whole offense because everybody contributes, but I mean, if Dono don't create separation on the option route, I can't get an explosive play, a 30-yard touchdown after making a 5-yard pass. Trey Abner, my tight end, if he doesn't get to that backside hash and get vertical on 4 verts, whenever it's cover 3, I don't have anything. I don't have anywhere to go with that football. Peasy, receiver on my left. If he done come down the stem and retrace versus cover 3, catch that ball, make that corner miss and get vertical and create an explosive play, I don't have a 50-yard completion. So I know how important it is for those guys to be valued because at the end of the day, without them, I'm nothing. I mean, the quarterback. I feel like it's the hardest position in all of sports. Mentally, I mean, physically, you got to be mechanically sound, but without those guys, I'm literally nothing. So having relationships with them and getting to a point to where I trust them and they trust me is very important because I can't do. I'm really nothing without those guys.
I agree. 'Cause I know many kids, they look at the skill position, they look at the wide receiver, the quarterback, but they don't know everything starts with the line. 'Cause if the line don't block, the quarterback job, they make your job very difficult.
100%.
Cause them skill players that we all want to see, like the Odells and the AJ Brown, Devontae, the incoming, the rookie this year, Xavier Worthy. Like people want to see them get the ball,
Yep.
but if you don't have a good line, like we saw in the Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs, Pat Mahomes, I think Pat Mahomes is up
No
there
doubt.
as one of the 2 greatest football quarterbacks to ever play the game. And we know what Pat can
Facts.
do, but Pat didn't have a line, and it showed in the Super Bowl. So therefore, he wasn't able to get his playmakers the ball. So that's why, as the younger generation, they look and they think. Don't get me wrong, playing quarterback, wide receiver, them are good positions, them top positions. But if you don't have good
Yeah,
O
million
linemen,
times harder. I mean,
that make your job a million times harder. And I think a lot of people don't
yeah,
see that because they
right,
see the
right.
stat sheet.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
get what I'm saying?
we say,
They see all that.
we say it all the time, especially in college football, where the playing field isn't quote unquote equal amongst all levels. In Division One, on the Division 1 level, man, games are won and lost in the trenches. Uh, I think Coach Shade said it today. If you can run the football well and effectively, you'll win games. And if you can stop the run effectively, you'll win games. So, like I said, man, you want to be efficient on first down. First down efficiency in football is 4 yards. And if I can get 4 yards on first down, then I'm at 2nd and 6. I'm in a situation where I can run the ball or pass the ball. And I mean, that keeps the defense guessing. If the defense knows you're about to run the ball, they can blitz. If the defense knows you're about to pass the ball, they can drop 8. So staying in situations where the defense don't know if you can run or pass, that puts you in RPO situations where the defense is always wrong. So I think running the football and having a good run game is very, very important, especially as a quarterback, because I mean, if they don't know we're passing and we are, that helps me. And I mean, also, it takes load off my chest. Like, of course, quarterbacks, you got to make decisions every play because, I mean, even in the run game, a lot of that stuff is predicated on reads, reading the backside defensive end. So if I got to throw the ball every play, like a lot of people say, yeah, the quarterback, he just want to throw the ball. Yes, of course, I want to throw the ball 30 times, 35 times, if that's what it takes to win. But if
Indeed.
I can throw the ball 20 times and we can run the ball 60 times and we're gashing, it's all about winning. Quarterbacks, the biggest stat for a quarterback, a quarterback is wins and losses. So if we can run the ball 60 times and I throw it 15, I better go 13 for 15. And if we're running 5 or getting 6 or 7 yards of carry, that takes weight off my shoulders because, hey, that's less times I got to make a play with my arm. So, I mean, it's great to have a good run game. You can't win games if you don't have a good offensive line. And I think we got a really good offensive line. I'm really excited about those guys, especially after seeing the progression and the growth that they've made in these 4 practices.
Yeah, I agree. And with any little league, middle school, high school quarterback they're looking to go to the next level, what is the advice you would give to them?
The advice I would give to them is, I mean, get better each and every day and drill weaknesses. Like, I mean, as a young guy, it's easy to go out there and do what you're good at. I mean, as a quarterback, if you're good at throwing a deep ball, you shouldn't be out there throwing a whole bunch of deep balls just to make yourself feel good. If you need to work on your intermediate passing game, work on that. Don't go just do what you're good at because there's no point in continuously repping something that you're already good at. You need to wipe weaknesses off the table. Be hypercritical of yourself. Find weaknesses, wipe them off the table. If my weakness is my footwork, I need to be jump roping. I need to be doing footwork drills so I can wipe that off the table. If one of my weaknesses is my spin, I need to be spinning that ball at the goalpost pad. I remember whenever I was young, even whenever I was at Georgia State, before we had like a throwing screen, I threw ball after ball after ball after ball at the base pad of the goalpost just to work on my spin because I didn't have a tight spiral. So, just finding weaknesses in your game, getting rid of those weaknesses is very important, especially as a young quarterback.
So it seems like you take a lot of accountability when it comes to you with a quarterback, with you playing quarterback. So what is one aspect of your game you feel like as you can work on?
I feel like one aspect of my game I can work on is my anticipation. I mean, you want to get rid of the ball early, get rid of the ball on time. Talk about those old linemen that work extremely hard. The quicker the ball's out of your hand, the less that they have to block, and the better that they'll be in the fourth quarter. So, throwing timing routes like curls or digs, or it's really mainly on the intermediate stuff, bang gates, getting that ball out before that guy breaks. But that all comes down to relationships, just like we talked about earlier. If I know what it looks like whenever Duke is coming out of his curl, or whenever Peasy is coming out of his curl, or whenever Devin Heron is coming out of his curl, if I know what that looks like, know what their body does whenever they break down, then that helps me have confidence in throwing the ball early. So I think anticipation, that's one thing that will take my game to another level, especially at the next level, because defense, I mean, those D-backs in the NFL, they break on balls so early. So you really got to be able to anticipate at the next level.
So I know on the game days, I know people eat certain things, watch certain things, listen to certain type of music. Can you take us through a game day from wake up to game time?
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, we usually play afternoon games. I'll give you like a 3 o'clock kickoff. So we'll wake up around 7. Well, I wake up around 7, and I'm a barber too, so I wake up at 7 and I'm cutting my hair because look good, feel good, play good. So that's the first
Indeed.
thing I'm gonna do. Wake up. Well, you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna wake up early. Start off with some gospel music to kind of set the tone for the day, get me in good spirits, and I'm gonna cut my hair. Get dressed, and we go down to breakfast. So we'll have team breakfast at like 8, 8:30. Um, and after breakfast, usually we'll either go to meetings, we'll meet with our position coaches, watch some film, kind of sharpen up the game plan, go over script. And after that meeting, we usually get released. So go back to our rooms till around 10:30 or 11 o'clock. And usually we eat our pregame meal 4 hours before kickoff. So if it's a 3 o'clock game, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock game was so we'll eat pregame at like 11. So go down, eat pregame meal, and I'm still at this point listening to my gospel music. I probably got my headphones at this point. Maybe I took a little nap after those early AM meetings. So we go to pregame meal, eat, and after pregame meal, we usually immediately load the bus. So we load the bus at like 11:30 or 12. Head to the stadium. If it's a home game, our stadium is probably 5-10 minutes away from the hotel. So I get to the stadium around 12:15 ish, I'll say, and then we got downtime until about like around 1:30 2 o'clock, which is whenever we kind of start really getting prepared. So a lot of guys chill. I'm not very superstitious, so I'm not, you know what I'm saying, like doing anything specific. I'm just chilling, hanging out. We probably watching college football. If it was a noon kickoff, we probably watching that game, chilling in the locker room. I might be going over the script, but at this point, I'm prepared because it's game day. You can't prepare on game day. So I
I
might be
agree.
going over the script, going over play calls, for different situations, chilling, get my ankles taped, because I mean we go out there on the field around probably 1:30, 2 o'clock for pre-practice. So get my ankles taped, put my turf tape on my elbows, put my turf tape on the knees that people hate or love to see. Regardless, I don't care. Throwing my turf tape on, getting ready, and I'm probably hitting the field at like 1:30, 2 o'clock. And so I usually walk around the field 3 times. So I'm a Christian. It's the Holy Trinity. So I guess that's one thing that I implemented into my game day routine, that I try to do every time. I try to walk around the field 3 times. The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Get myself in that mode. I'm still listening to my gospel. Um, and after I walk around the field 3 times, then I do give me some shots up, if you want to say. I was a basketball player, so I give me some shots up.
Yeah,
I
I played too
grab
in high school.
yeah, I grab a couple of my receivers and I'm just spinning the ball around at this point. Just kind
Hmm.
of getting my touchdown, get my feel going, trying to get rid of some of those bad reps early. And go in the locker room once I'm on the field, probably 1:30, 2 o'clock. Try not to wear myself out. Try not to wear myself out before we start the game. And by the time 2:30 rolls around, it's time to run out. So
It's that
in
time.
full uniform, yeah, it's time to go do it. I'm in full uniform by 2:30. Um, we go out there, go for stretch lines, and we start our pre-practice or pre-game routine. Stretch, go to individual, do individual for a little bit, go to unit. So we'll throw it with the wide receivers, before we go into team. Then we'll go team, run our 5 to 10 plays. Break it down. We back in the locker room by 3:15, 3:30. I mean, where I'm at by like 2:15, two
Yeah.
thirty. I don't know. I think my timeline somewhere
Yeah.
correct. So we hang out in the locker room for about 10, 15, with like 10 to 25 minutes ish. And then we take the field, 3 o'clock kickoff. We take the field at like 2:50, 2:55 ish. Walk out, stand behind the paper, or it's not high school no more. Stand
Yeah.
behind in the little blow up helmet.
Yeah.
Run out. Captains go out. I'm usually a captain, so I walk out at like 2:57, 2:58, and that's why I'm really trying to like calm down because I'm a real hyper person. Like in pregame when we
You
throwing
ready to
pat
go,
and
ain't it?
go, I'm ready to go. I'm dancing, I'm bobbing my head. My coach is like, "Quad, settle down, settle down." Like I'm literally out there like I'm bouncing, like I'm ready to go. I'm listening to the music. So that's when I try to like kind of have a calm before the storm as I'm walking to the coin toss. I'm talking to God. I'm talking to myself. Just really trying to get in that mode. I mean, we shake hands. I usually don't lose the coin toss. Of course, it's a home game, so they got the coin toss. But I'm like 3 for 4 last year on coin tosses. I don't lose the toss for real. But hopefully we win the toss. Then my teammates run out. I run out with them, go pray, and now it's time to do it.
So I see you mentioned the pregame meal.
Yep.
What's the go-to meal?
Usually it's like I'll go like grilled chicken, some pasta with some red sauce. Like I try to not go green beans because sometimes that can be a little oily, a little heavy on your stomach.
Yeah.
Usually go grilled chicken, a little pasta with a little red sauce and like a side salad. Then I try to get like a banana in for my
Oh
carbs.
yeah.
Try to get some fruit and
Getting getting a feel for every single thing. I get what you're saying.
yeah. And I'm not the type of guy that say, man, I can't eat on game day. I eat. I don't eat a lot because I normally don't eat a lot, but I eat on game day. You know what I'm saying?
I don't
So
blame you, bro. I don't
I
blame you.
like to eat right before I go on the field, like right before practice. Because I don't know. I like to feel heavy. I like to feel stable. So usually I'll eat me a good meal. Sometimes I'll take me a to-go plate because I'm like, man, it's 4 hours for a kickoff. I'm gonna need a little something before we go out there. So, like I said, grilled chicken, pasta with a little red sauce, Caesar salad, you know what I mean? Give me a banana in with some Powerade, with some also on game day and like the day before the game, I put that Himalayan sea salt in my water or in my Powerade to kind of get that sodium in me, get them electrolytes from the Powerade
Hmm.
to prevent cramps.
And with the upcoming year, what's one game you got second on that schedule that you think would be the statement game? Even though I think you probably gonna say Arkansas because it's the SEC game. But what's that one game you got like on ready? Like this that game.
See, man, at HBCUs, you got a few statement games. Like, I'm going to name a few, but then I'll narrow it down to one. So, I mean, we play Alcorn at home in the Lewis Cruz Classic. So
Ooh.
usually the Lewis Cruz, we play a Division II school. It's a, quote unquote warm up game, get your feet wet, and it's usually a big win for us. Like we beat Kentucky State, I mean, a lot to a little last year. I mean, that they had a pretty good ball club. No disrespect to them, but usually we play a Division II school and we beat them. Give the fans something to see, give the fans some hope. But this year, play a Division I school, and we play another SWAC school, and we play another like prestigious big time SWAC school. So that's gonna be a big game for us, and that'll let us know where we're really at. Of course, Arkansas will be a good barometer, but playing a team that's quote unquote on our level for the first home game of the season is big. I played Tennessee State in Nashville. That's another one, another big one I'm excited about. Get to play in Nissan Stadium. I want to be an NFL quarterback. We get to go play down there in the NFL stadium. So that'll be exciting. They're going through some coaching changes, so never really know how good they'll be, but they've been good in the past. They got a pretty rich tradition, and they're also an OVC school, so they're not in the SWAC. So they're, of course, I'm gonna say quote unquote because everybody can ball. They're quote unquote a step above us, because they're in a larger, more competitive conference, if you want to say. Jackson State, play them in Mobile. And I'm from Alabama. That's the home state. I like to say I don't lose in Bama, man. I don't want to go down. I don't want to play anywhere in Bama and lose.
Yeah, you from Birmingham, man. Birmingham,
From
right?
Birmingham, yeah. So Jackson State, that's another one that's circled. And then of course the classic, Magic City Classic. That's another. That's in Birmingham. That's my city. So
So you gotta
I
put
mean,
on.
gotta put on. So out of those 4 games I just listed, I mean, I gotta say the classic. Like I don't want to lose to Alabama State. We shouldn't lose to Alabama State. Alabama A&M, like that's the one. I'm playing at home, playing in front of potentially probably 40,000, 50,000. And we can't lose to Alabama State in Birmingham. We won't lose to Alabama State in Birmingham. So that's the one I got circled. I'm excited about that one.
So last year I saw you through for 1,666.
Yep.
Do you have any like this year? Like, do you set out any goals like at the start of the season? Like, I want to throw for this. I want to throw this many touchdowns. Like any like with you and your dad. Like, do y'all talk about them certain things? Would you possibly enter the draft after this year?
Yeah, entering the draft after this year is my plan, for sure. And like I said, man, I'm 6'5", 215, and I can spin the rock. So I mean, whenever you put me side by side with those big time names, I'll fit right in. So I'm excited about that postseason process. Being able to get into workouts in front of NFL scouts. But I mean, you gotta handle the season first. So you talked about those goals, and funny you mentioned my dad. My dad, he always said, "Yeah, man, we going for 4,000. We throwing for 4,000 this year. We probably throw 45 touchdowns." I mean, I like to say, I'm not saying that can't happen.
But you say you want to win.
I want to win football games, and if I throw for 2,000 and we win football games, cool, because I'm being efficient. I'm doing my job. If I throw for 4,000, great. But I guess a goal that I've kind of set for myself is around probably like 3,000, like 31, 3,200. That's my goal. Double the number that I had last year. Last year was playing on a torn meniscus. Was in and out of the lineup for whatever reason. I could try to control whatever I could control. And get better from it. But I mean, it just wasn't the best situation for me. But I mean, we got new coaches, new opportunities. These guys are really giving me the reassurance that I need, to know that I'm the guy going into this year. And just based on not only what I've done in the past, but what I've been doing this spring, as far as workouts, leading, putting in extra work with the guys, doing everything I need to do to be that quarterback and that general and that guy that the coaches and the players can lean on. So 3,200 yards is my goal. 30 touchdowns through the air is my goal. But at the end of the day, I want to win football games, man. I know stats aren't as important. in today's day and age, because there's so many factors that go
Yeah,
into stats.
you right.
You can have a guy that has elite receivers, you throw for 3,500, but a lot of those yards guys are just bailing them out, making plays. And you
Indeed.
can have great quarterbacks that don't have very good receivers and maybe put up kind of average numbers, but
Mhm.
he can really spin it. He can anticipate. He's got time. He can read the defense. So I know I'll check off all those boxes, but 3,200, I feel like that's a pretty good goal for me.
But like I was saying when I first met you, and he was like, "That's a quarterback." Quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm like, he like a wide receiver, tight end, like,
Right.
like I was telling Gordon, the linebacker from Kennesaw State, I was telling
Yep.
him like he big to be a quarterback. 'Cause he was telling me
Yeah.
y'all played at when you was at UT Martin, and he's still at Kennesaw. He was
Yeah.
like, yeah, like he the real deal. That's why I was just
Yeah.
like 6'5" at a quarterback, 210. That's LeBron on the football field. Like
Man,
I
I'm
was
trying to
like,
hoop like that.
like I was just like that's big. And with
Yes,
you
sir.
being 6'5" and you also playing on the torn meniscus, like you stated last year,
Uh-huh.
how was that? Like I know you probably went through a lot. I know pain. I know
Yeah.
like how was that experience?
I mean, you're never gonna be 100% playing football, man. Like Coach Shea says all the time, football is a violent and physical game, and it's what we signed up for. And you just gotta embrace that. Like, I know there's gonna be a point in time in this coming season where I'm gonna have to play a little bumped up, a little nicked up. I might have to tape some up. I might have to wrap something up. But like, I mean, football is a man's game. It's a gladiator sport. That's something that my dad let me know at a young age. Like, it's normal to hurt playing football, man. Like we're grown men running into each other as hard as we physically can
With
for
equipment
three
on.
with equipment on for 3.5 hours. Like, if you really break the game down, like, it kind of sounds insane. But I mean, that's just the nature of the beast, man. Like, if I'm 87%, that's good. That's pretty good. You're never gonna be
Yeah,
100%. Like, I mean,
I
I was
agree.
telling my trainers earlier this week and telling my doctor that did my surgery, I was like, man, like, I'm grateful because like this is the best that I felt on a football field in a really long time. And that's something to be proud about. But that's hours and hours and hours of treatment, hours and hours and hours of getting PT, doing workouts to, strengthen my muscles, strengthen my joints, strengthen my ligaments, strengthen my knees. Um, but yeah, man, it was rough. It wasn't undoable though. It was meniscus. It wasn't ACL. So I wasn't in crazy pain. I felt it and I was conscious of it. But like I said, there's some prehab stuff that I was doing. I was doing a lot of, rehab stuff as well. So I'm in the training room every day getting ice, and I'm doing exercises and everything to strengthen my quad, strengthen the joint, strengthen the ligaments, and strengthen the muscles around that knee to help protect it. And I knew I was gonna have to get the surgery. I knew as soon as it happened, Auburn game, first game of the season, like I kind of got tackled, gated rolled, kind of popped a little bit. I was like, oh my god, like
Dang.
there's no way. But it was something that I was able to manage. Just managing the pain is the biggest thing, and I was able to just work through it, man. Work through it.
And also, but you also said you played basketball, correct?
Yep.
Okay. What separated you from basketball and football and made you go to football?
Uh, One thing was my dad.
Yeah, I
Honestly,
could have guessed that one.
my dad loves football, bro. Like, he's a big football guy, and he said it, man. I've never really told anybody. He said that God told him whenever I was a kid I was gonna be an NFL quarterback. So, and he's a pastor. He a man of faith. So, I mean, he's kind of following that vision and helping push me on that path that God set for me whenever I was a kid. So, that's one of the biggest things. I also felt like I had a lot more longevity whenever I came to realization for myself, and I was like, okay, football versus basketball. I had a lot more longevity in football than I did basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, on the basketball court, I mean, I'm 6'5". A lot of people that can do what I can do on the basketball court. Not a lot of people that can do what I can do on the football field, being a 6'5" shooting guard out there playing football.
Six
You know,
five. Well, that's about a Clay Thompson, something
You know
like
what I'm
that.
saying? Yeah, with the size and the athleticism that I have, and just the God-given ability that I have, and the arm strength that I have, like not a lot of guys can do what I can do on the football field. So, basketball, I kind of felt like I was one of many. Football, I felt like I was kind of one of a few. So that's what kind of made me decide to play football ultimately.
All right. And with you But you being a quarterback, on them Sundays when y'all ain't got a game, I know you probably chilling, probably resting, because you play the game on Saturday. Who are you tuning in to watch? Like, who the quarterback is like? When he play, like, he play at 1 o'clock, I make sure I'm sitting down, I'm eating, I gotta watch him. Like, who is that quarterback? Or is it every quarterback? Or do you, I know some, y'all just love football. I know you probably love football in general. But I know there's one specific quarterback that you just tuning in to almost every time you touch the field.
Honestly, bro, whenever I got to college, like, and I ain't have cable no more, I didn't really watch ball like that, like, for real. Like, I love football, but I don't really watch football that much. Like, I watch a lot more film of myself than I do other people. So, if you ask me what quarterback I'm looking at on Sunday, it's Quad Brown. I'm cutting on the tape from yesterday.
That's real.
Like, sometimes me and my teammates, like, whenever we play on ESPN Plus, when we get home and they put that game on demand, like, yeah, it might be 1, 2, 3 in the morning. We watching the game from last night. Like, we watching the game that we just played 4, 5, 6 hours ago. So, I mean, I'm watching myself. What did I do well? I mean, I feel like that's the most important thing you can do is just fill yourself up with positivity. First and foremost, what did I do well? It's like, oh, yeah, man, I made a ball down there in the red zone whenever I threw that corner. They played man to man. I threw that corner versus man. Or, man, I threw that whole shot versus cover two. It's like, oh, man, I got that bubble. I put it right on his face mask. He was able to maximize his yak. So I'm watching myself, man. What did I do well? What can I say? Like, what can I look at that makes me say, man, okay, I'm good. I did some good things today. Then what did I not do well? You know, so a lot of coaches have good, bad, and ugly tapes. The good comes first for a reason because, you know, listen, you're not a bad football player. You did some good things, but you also did some bad things. So then I look at the bad.
Gotta come last.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you got to be hypercritical. And my dad taught me that at a young age, man. My dad is my biggest fan, my biggest critic. Like, he used to be on me so hard sometimes. I'm like, man, like, do he even think I'm good? Like am I, like, what am I playing? If I'm so bad, why am I playing? Tough. Until I hear him on the phone talking to his friends about me. I'm like, oh, he think I'm like that. I'm good. I'm good. Me and him could talk after a game. He talking about all the bad stuff that I did, and man, you should have did this, man. You got to get that ball out quicker, man. I don't know why you throwing the ball down there. All these, it's 3rd and 15, man. What you still trying to get the first down for? Concede, punt, reserve the right to kick. Blah, blah. I'm like, leave, whatever. Then he get on the phone. His friend, man, quiet, man. He cut up today. He acted a fool today. I'm like, man, you just told me how bad I played. So, like I said, he's my biggest fan, my biggest critic. So that kind of made me start to be hypercritical of myself. So what did I not do well? I get to a point where I'm trying to find things that I didn't do well. You know, criticizing completions, that's another big thing. Yeah, this is a completion, but did I get the ball out on time? Yeah, it's a completion, but was I in the right protection? Did I make sure my O-line was in the right pass pro? My ball placement, how was my ball placement on this completion? So criticizing completions is another big thing. So I'm watching myself on Sunday. I don't really watch football as much. I should watch football more, but if you want to talk about NFL quarterback, I like Joe Burrow. I like his composure. I like his accuracy, his anticipation. I feel like we're kind of parallel whenever it comes to athleticism. I've always watched, and it's another thing. Like my dad's always told me to watch guys that I'm similar to. So I'm not watching LJ. I can't run like Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying? I look at the film and I'm like, oh man, I can do that. But ain't no point of me watching Mike Vick highlights. I was a kid. I'm telling my dad, yeah, I like Mike Vick. I like Mike Vick. He tells me, no, you need to be. He was a Redskins fan. You need to be watching Jason Campbell. You need to be watching Tom Brady. And you need to be watching guys like Breeze. Of course, I was a little bit more athletic than those guys, but I was never a freak athlete whenever it came to running the football. So Burrows, I feel like Joe Burrow's a guy that's kind of comparable to myself. So that's one guy that I enjoy watching.
And based off the conversation we just had right now, I was just about to go into how is it having your dad to be like your backbone, like that person you come home and be like, yeah, you do for 230, but again you ain't do this good, but again you ain't do this good. So like, how is it having that person that gonna always hold you accountable regardless of what you do, and he not gonna sugarcoat it, he not gonna fake it, he gonna tell you straight up, if you play bad, good, you can improve on this. Like, how is that having that in your corner?
it's very, very important, man. Like, it's tough for guys that grow up without a father. Like, it's especially guys that grow up without a father and without a father figure. Like, having a man in your life that you respect, that you can lean on, good, bad, and ugly, that's gonna be there for you. You know, I think that's huge. I think it's major. Like my dad, like you say, he's my backbone. Um, it's important because he sees things that I may not see,
Shout
or
out to
he
Pops,
sees,
man. Shout out to
yeah, for
Pops.
sure. He sees the plays that I didn't make that I could have made, and most importantly, the plays that I think I did well on. He sees the negatives in those, and he knows me so well as a person, and he's very, very patient and very, very gracious. So those are two things that my dad does well. Like when it sounds like sometimes I don't want to be held accountable, and he can feel that. He understands that, and he'll let up off me. You know, I don't care if you want to hear it or not. Like if he sees that I've had enough, he'll be like, yeah, well, man, we'll talk later. And I'm like, all right, man. Like,
That real
dang,
though.
like,
That's real.
yeah. So I think that's the biggest thing, just that grace that he has and that patience that he has with me because man, I wasn't the easiest guy to coach. Grew up kind of hard headed because I was always good.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, what you mean I ain't play good? Like, man, I'm straight. I don't know what you talking about. And whenever he reads that from me, he kind of changes his angle of attack. And like he's always been good at, you know, two goods and a bad.
Yeah.
Or at least one good and a bad. Like, yeah, you did this well. Hey, but man, you gotta do this better. Yeah, but I think you did well, man. You played good. He love that. Man, you played good. But man,
Yeah.
you gotta throw that second slant on his face so he can get some yak.
Yeah.
Kind of tricking me into okay, yeah, he softened me up and then hit me with the criticism. So I mean, he knows me well. He knows how to get to me, how to hold me accountable. And that's the biggest thing. Like a lot of fathers, man, they just kind of tear their sons down, tear their sons down. My dad always built me up to tear me down. You know, he's telling me what I need to hear, what I need to know, but he always made sure that I was confident. So that's the one thing I appreciate from him, and it's really important having him in my life. I don't know what I'd do without him.
Shout out to Pops. For
For
sure.
sure. The
With us
third, I'm the
coming
fourth.
with us coming towards the end of the podcast, I gotta give you two rankings. You gotta do.
Let's do it.
We're gonna do it at the end of every podcast.
Bet, let's do
I
it.
know I know you can watch basketball before.
Yep.
I'm gonna give you the first one. Mike,
All right.
Bron, Kobe. Put it in order.
LeBron.
Hey,
LeBron. For
lock
sure.
in.
Listen, bro, like basketball, man. In the game of basketball, my dad always breaks it down. I think it's 7 elements: shooting, passing, rebounding, on the ball defense, off the ball defense.
Playmaking.
I mean, I guess you could say play. There are 5, 7 elements, and
Yeah.
if you just look at those elements, LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan. Like LeBron's a better shooter. LeBron is 40 years old, shooting 40% from the tray ball.
So,
LeBron's a better rebounder. He's a better passer. So, yeah, go ahead.
but you saying that though, you ain't got Kobe. You don't think Kobe is like in the GOAT discussion? I don't think it either. Kawhi. I don't think that either. Kawhi.
I don't know. Like, I feel like
Kobe played with Shaq, man. You give Bron
did.
prime Shaq.
Yeah, he did.
Bron might be sitting on by 7, 8.
He did. And then, like, I mean, I'm trying to be as close as I can. Jordan had Pippen. Scottie Pippen at the time was the number 2 player in the NBA. Michael Jordan leaves Chicago, right, to go play baseball after his pops passed away. And they won like 4 less games. They
Exactly.
won 4 less games. So like,
And they still made the playoffs.
what did
And
he
they
have?
still made the playoffs.
They still made the playoffs. They still went to the conference finals or the finals. One of them.
Like-
The Houston Rockets won it, of course. So I mean, what if you're talking about the impact that a guy had on the game? Cool. You look at Bron.
Bron
When
got it on
Bron left the Cavs,
Bron got on
man,
everything.
Man, Bron, they won 55 games. Bron had Drew Gooden, Zaldrunas, Ilgauskas. Come on, Anderson, Varejao. Like, LeBron ain't had.
Mo
Do you feel me?
Williams.
Mo Williams, LeBron ain't had nobody. Like, he didn't have nobody with him for real. So when he left the Cavs, I think they went from 55 wins to like 27.
Indeed.
So look at the impact that he had on that team. Michael Jordan left, they won 4 less games or 6 less games, something like that. So I mean, you can't argue with impact.
So you saying your order is Bron, Mike, and Kobe?
Brian, Mike, Cole.
Okay, I agree with that.
Brian
Okay,
Michael.
now why we gonna bring it to your side of the field?
All right.
Brady, Mahomes, Joe Montana. Put it in order.
Br-
I say Steve Young. Who you think we should throw in there? Steve Young or Joe Montana?
You throw Montana in. Honestly, man, I ain't no crazy football geek. I don't know enough about either one of them to
Me
give them
either.
number one.
I'm just
You
putting him in
feel
there.
me?
Put him in
So
there.
I'm gonna say Brady for sure. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
7 rings.
I say
But you
Brady
you
too.
can't argue with that. Like, he's done it at for 2 different franchises. Played at a high level until his mid-40s. Man, Tom Brady is the best football player to ever touch a football. So I mean, I say Brady. How many shields Joe Montana got? How many rings he got?
Uh, I think he close. I think
Oh, like 4, 5, something like that.
we can always find out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say Mahomes because Mahomes is in my era.
You
So
said Joe Montana ring.
yeah,
Let's see how
rings.
many rings Joe Montana got. Joe
I'm gonna
Montana
say
is
what,
four.
5,
Four.
4. Okay,
Mm-hmm. And
I'm still gonna say
he had 3-time Super Bowl MVP.
yeah. I'm gonna still say Mahomes. I ain't seen Joe do it enough. Like yeah, that he's great probably, but I mean this day and age, the game we play in a passing league right now. Like the NFL is a passing league. And back then, they used to run that football. They used to stretch, outside zone, power, counter,
I agree.
stretch, play action, pop pass. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't doing what Mahomes is doing physically or mentally, So I say Mahomes is 2, call my 10 and 3.
Well, we like thank you for having you, Mr. Quad Brown, today
Yes,
on
sir.
episode 2 of Out of Bounds, and we will see you guys later.